Raw Selection recently held a salary survey for chief executives of private equity-backed industrial and manufacturing companies in the US. As we specialise in executive search across the lower and middle market, we found it useful to set the 3 different criteria across the results that we had, because obviously based on range of revenues of companies, salaries clearly differ. So we have under 50 million, from 50 million to 150 million, and 150 million revenue plus as 3 separate categories. For the 50 million and under category, we found that the lowest salary was $110,000 US, and that the highest salary was $450,000 US, with the median range being $250,000 US. What we tend to find is that 110,000 is particularly low, but also contrary to that, 450,000 is particularly high. Based on my experience, if someone was to give me a rough guide on this level, I'd probably say anywhere from 250 to 300 would be an accurate figure for sub 50 million revenue companies. In terms of bonus percentage, we found that 77.2% had a 50% bonus contrary to their basic salary, and with the highest bonus position being 100% of their basic salary. 17% had a 50% or lower than 50% bonus, and 4.5% of the people interviewed had no bonus whatsoever. And of the sub 50 million category, 83.75% of those individuals had an equity position, and the remaining had no equity position. Now on to the 50 to 150 million range. The lowest salary in this category was $180,000 US, and the highest salary in this range was again $450,000 as a basic salary. This gave us a median salary range of $300,000. Now, when we're doing searches, and in my experience, typically for these types of size of companies, we see anything from 300 at the very lower end up to kind of 380, 400,000 as a basic salary for chief execs of these size revenue companies. In terms of bonus percentage, 38% had 50% or more as bonus, and that bonus is 50% of their basic salary. 34% of participants received under 50% of bonus against their basic salary, and only 8% of those interviewed had no bonus whatsoever. What we did find out was 7% of the category here had over 100% bonus, so it'd be either 100% or over, with the largest being 180% of their basic salary attributed to their bonus position. However, an incredibly surprising amount, 50% of the people for this category did not have an equity position, which we find shocking for the private equity world, but clearly it's a practice that still clearly has some level. Any search that we would work on for a C-suite position, we would encourage the client to put a equity position, as then everyone has skin in the game and everybody wins for the best possible outcome for everybody involved. Now for the 150 million plus category, we found that the lowest salary for this particular bracket was $190,000 US, and the highest salary for this particular area was $500,000 US, with a gross median around $300,000. Typically, I'd probably argue that's a bit of a low gross median, but the figures speak for themselves. Typically, when we hire at this level, we're looking, obviously, 150 million plus is a large category, but up to 500 million in revenue was the main kind of areas that we looked at with regards to revenue experience of candidates, and we typically see basic salaries very low end, probably say 350,000, and then up to the 500k mark from that perspective. For the bonus perspective, 25% of those received 50% or less from a bonus of basic salary, and 75% of those in this category received 50% to 100% in bonus of their basic salary. Again, another surprising result on equity. 45% of those spoken with did not have an equity position, but 55% of those did have an equity position And I reiterate what I said earlier, if you want to win in private equity, make sure that your portfolio C-suite executives have a good equity position and have skin in the game. For further information on raw selection, on any of our salary surveys, further details on recommendations on salary positions, etc., bonus, and obviously equity, please don't hesitate to reach out. And of course, if you're hiring for your portfolio executive team in the manufacturing or industrial space across Europe or North America, please reach out to us at Raw Selection. We would be delighted to support your hiring and process to find an absolute exceptional talent to take that business towards exit.